Hi, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be having a mini makeup battle between two of spring's hottest launches. The Natasha Denona Cheek Duo from the Love collection and the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Ultra Glow Highlighter from the Divine Rose 2 collection. These two products have more in common than just gorgeous pink packaging. They both include a pink and gold glowy highlighter. Of course, it's not unique for multiple brands to launch highlighters at the same time, but I do find it very unique that two prestige brands, would launch such extremely similar highlighters at the same time. Of course, this isn't the first time it's happened. During holiday 2020, Pat McGrath Labs, Natasha Denona, and Charlotte Tilbury all launched very similar highlighters in those collections as well. If you want to know more about those, don't forget to check out that video and the details below. And you know this probably won't be the last time that makeup brands launch similar collections at the same time. I just thought these two looked extremely similar and I really wanted to see them side by side, and I thought you might too. Since these products are so similar, I thought we would kind of talk about the details of both at the same time instead of talking about one and then the other. And that way we can really see which one is best for you. First, let's start with the obvious: price. The Pat McGrath highlighter is $48 and the Natasha Denona highlighter is $42. So overall, they are quite similar in price, which is about the price that would be expected from a prestige highlighter. The difference here is when you break it down. The Pat McGrath highlighter has 10 grams of product, whereas the Natasha Denona has 14 grams of product. But it is a highlighter and blush duo. So in that 14 grams, you have 7 in the blush, 7 in the highlighter. So when you're comparing the amount of the highlighter you would get versus the Pat McGrath, you are getting less highlighter, but overall a little bit more product when you add in that blush. Moving on, let's talk packaging. The packaging here is quite similar. This pinky rose color, the Pat McGrath is a little bit lighter, a little bit cooler toned. The Natasha Denona is a little bit more red and warm toned. Both are a very metallic-y plastic. They are both plastic, but Natasha Denona has this fun little waterfall glitter effect in their packaging, but it also feels kind of childlike. Whereas the Pat McGrath Labs is a bit more classic, a bit more sleek, and you don't have to worry with this one of water leaking into your bag if the plastic breaks. There is a little water bubble in this packaging, which means there is water that is making these little glittery guys float around in here. I don't know how easily it would be to break this. I haven't tried. It's also on the same side as the mirror. And of course, I highly recommend you not break your products in the first place, but we have all been there. Something falls out of your bag, hits the ground just the right way, your product shatters everywhere. But with this one, I don't know how much water is in there. Couldn't be too awfully much, but still the point, there is water in this. One last thing about the packaging, let's talk about the weight. Some people with the Natasha Denona holiday highlighter and with this highlighter from Pat McGrath have said that the plastic feels cheap. When compared to this highlighter, which is the holiday highlighter from Pat McGrath Labs, this does feel much lighter. This is plastic, this one is metal. This is extremely heavy, very substantial, not one I would want to carry around in my bag. You can hear that this one is plastic. It is a lot lighter weight. It is a lot more practical, a lot more usable. So yes, if you were comparing this to this does feel a lot lighter, but it doesn't feel like play makeup or anything super cheap. Same thing with this one. They feel about the same. This one does feel a little bit heavier because the base of it is a little bit more substantial. It's also a little bit larger. So that will feel heavier just in general because it is bigger, even if it's made out of the same material. Both products have mirrors in them, which I think is super wonderful for a compact product. The Pat McGrath Labs Holiday Highlighter did not have a mirror, so I am very glad that this new one does. Not that you would want to do your entire face of makeup in one little mirror, but it's always nice to have an extra one, especially if it comes in a product. I don't think there's a clear winner on packaging here. I think both are super cute. Both feel very nice. This one is kind of fun and flirty, but you could also see it as childish. This one is kind of plain, but you could also see it as a minimalist, glamorous type packaging. Overall, both of them super cute. I have already talked all about this highlighter and blush duo in my full Natasha Denona Love Collection review. So if you want to see swatches of the blush and know more about this particular product in general, I will go ahead and link that video in the description box below. Today, we're just going to stick with the highlighter side. Let's move on to some swatches. Here are the two highlighters together so you can see the difference in their reflect. This one is the Natasha Denona, this one is the Pat McGrath. You can kind of already, before we even swatch, see the difference in the undertone. Both of these highlighters have a tinted undertone with kind of a shimmery, glittery highlight topper on top, which is where that pink gold reflect comes in. So you can already see right here that the Natasha Denona one is a little bit more pink and the Pat McGrath is a little bit more peach. There's a slight difference in their topper tone as well. First, let's do the Natasha Denona swatch. Next up, Pat McGrath. So again, you can see the difference in the undertone of that kind of underlayer of this highlighter. The Natasha Denona is a little bit more pink and the Pat McGrath is a little bit more of a peachy coral. Let's see if I get close enough if the camera will pick up that shimmer versus glitter effect in the two highlighters. So with this really bright direct on beauty light, it can take a little bit more effort to see little nuances in different makeup formulas, especially when it comes to kind of shimmer versus sparkle or slight variations in undertone. Because such a bright light, which is also kind of why they call it a beauty light, it just kind of diffuses everything out and makes everything super soft and pretty. So I really hope that you can see the difference in the undertones and kind of that shimmer versus sparkle in these swatches. Both of them remind me of just a very amped up Hourglass blush, where it has kind of that soft wash of color and a very diffused light that just kind of makes you glow, and both are beautiful for that type of look. For me personally, I prefer to keep my highlighter right in here. I don't like bringing it into my blush or bringing it down too low or in too far into my face, but that's because I have a little bit older skin. My skin tends to be a little bit oily, a little bit shiny, so I try not to bring anything that's gonna add too much extra dewiness, but I like having that soft highlight right in through here where the sun would naturally hit my face. Of course, makeup is personal and you should wear whatever products you love in colors that make you feel beautiful. So if you want to add glow all over your face or bring your highlight down into your blush or use glitter products over shimmer, you go ahead and do it. Today I am wearing the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Ultra Glow Highlighter in Divine Rose. I feel like it gives a very soft, natural glow. It's not too overly shiny or shimmery. The pigmentation in that underlayer isn't too heavy on my skin. It doesn't go super dark or dingy or add weird shadows or reflex that just don't look right on my skin. I've worn both of these products over the past several days. I wanted to really play with them, experiment with them, see which one looked best in different light, how I felt in them, and overall I preferred the one from Pat McGrath. Initially, looking at swatches, I thought I would for sure be a bigger fan of the Natasha Denona. I like the undertone of this one better, that pink that you see right there versus kind of that peachy color that is in this Pat McGrath Labs. Both of the topper hues are about the same. However, on my skin, I felt like the Pat McGrath really blended and melted into my skin. It gave a really great natural dewy glow without adding some of those weird reflects or being extra glittery. And I thought the Natasha Denona was a bit more tinted, a bit heavier. It had kind of that darker reflect, and the highlight is very much more of a glitter highlight than a shimmer. Again, it's very difficult to tell the two of these apart in swatches. It's really just going to depend on which one you think would look best on you. However, in my personal opinion, if you are my skin tone or a bit more fair, I would probably go with the Pat McGrath. If you are more more warm tone, I would go with the Natasha Denona. But if your skin is darker than mine, I think either one of these would look absolutely stunning. And in that case, I think it really just comes down to, do you want more of a shimmer highlight or more of a glitter highlight? These colors are so similar. The packaging is so similar. The cost is so similar. Really, the only thing that stood out to me as being quite different between the two is that this one really does have a glittery, sparkly effect when the light hits it, and this one from Pat McGrath does not. It has a little bit more of that natural dewy glow instead of a sparkle. All in all, both of these products are amazing. It's going to come down to what you are looking for in a product. Do you want a sparkle highlighter or a shimmer highlighter? Do you want a highlighter and a blush combo, or you hate cream blush and you just want the highlighter? Maybe you love this packaging, maybe you hate this packaging. Maybe you're watching your budget and you don't want to spend the extra money for the Pat McGrath. But whatever you decide, both of these are amazing products. I honestly don't think you can go wrong with either one. They are so similar, it's a little bit crazy. So it's really up to you. I'm never going to tell you what you should spend your money on, which one you should buy. Everybody has their own reasons, their own budget, their own skin types, tones, and preferences. I'm just here to help you run the numbers. And that's it. Those are my thoughts on the new pink and gold spring highlighters from Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath Labs. And now it's your turn. What do you think of these highlighters with kind of a tinted undertone to them? Are you a sparkle highlighter fan or a shimmer highlighter fan? I always love hearing what you have to say. So let me know if there are any other products that you think I should review or any makeup battles you want to see. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I launch a new video, and I'll see you next time.